Hey, Captain Mike from Forbes Fishing, and in today's episode, I'll be replacing thermostats in these 2018 Yamaha 2.8 liter four-cylinder motors. These engines here are the 200 horsepower model, but all of this work is the same for the 150. Even the thermostat part number is the same. So stay tuned for all the details. This is a one part, one tool job that anyone can do. As far as the thermostat, it's a 6DA-12411-01-00, and that's the same for the 150 and 200 horsepower model. Tools to replace your thermostat, really the only thing you need is a ratchet, an extension is helpful, and a 10mm socket. If you only have this, that's plenty. I sometimes like to use a small gun to remove fasteners, but you'll never see me on the videos replacing fasteners or torquing anything with a screw gun. But if you're doing a bunch of work and have a bunch of fasteners to take off, certainly these make it easier. These are only 6mm bolts, and they only require 5.9 foot-pounds of torque to replace. So if you want to get specific, you're going to need a very small torque wrench, one preferably that does inch-pounds, and you'll have to do the math. But totally optional. I mean, we're talking about 6 foot-pounds of torque. I think you could probably just do that with the wrench in your hand. You can remove these engine covers for better access, and the top cover is held on by two 6mm bolts that require a 10mm socket. I'm going to remove those bolts, pop the cover up, and I'm actually going to put those bolts right back where I found them just so I don't misplace them. The 2.8 liter four-cylinder motor only has one thermostat, and it's located on the port side at the top of the motor, right at the top of this water line here. It's held on by three 6mm bolts, requiring a 10mm socket to remove. Rotate the housing around so you can remove the thermostat, taking note of where the P-hole is indexed. Some Yamaha motors will have a little white mark on the block where they want them indexed. This particular engine did not. You could also follow what the previous mechanic did, but on these two motors, the previous mechanic put them in different orientations, so I really didn't have that to follow either. So in lieu of all that, the manual doesn't indicate up or down, so I just chose to mimic what the 4.2 liter requirements are, which is put the P-hole straight up and down. Here I'm starting the 6mm bolts by hand. I'm going to snug them up just with a extension with the socket on it, and then I'm going to come back and tighten them to 5.9 foot-pounds of torque. After this is done, you're going to put the covers back on, and this project is done. This is really easy to do. Everyone should be able to do this themselves. I hope you enjoyed this content. If you did, please hit the like button. Consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you, and tight lines.